the black bell of Braemoor. The wind came first. It always did. It rolled down from the heathered hills and scraped its fingers along the stone cottages of Braemoor, a village that seemed stitched together from fog and old grief. The sea lay just beyond the cliffs, black, restless, whispering secrets against the rocks. On the highest point of the village stood the ruined kirk of St. Bride. Its roof had fallen decades ago, but the bell still hung in the skeletal tower, and some nights it rang. No rope moved, no hand pulled, yet the sound carried across the moor like a warning. They called it the Black Bell. Detective Inspector Ewan Reid of Inverness did not believe in curses, but he did believe in patterns, and 3 nights in a row, at exactly 2:17 a.m., the bell had tolled. On the 3rd night, someone died. Old Malcolm Fraser, retired lighthouse keeper, stubborn as granite, was found at the base of the cliffs below the kirk. The villagers whispered that he'd gone to silence the bell. The official theory was simple: a fall in the dark. But Ewan disliked simple. He stood in the ruins just before dawn, fog weaving between the broken stones. The bell loomed overhead, streaked black with age. The rope beneath it had long since rotted away. "Rings itself," muttered Constable MacLeod behind him. "Nothing rings itself," Ewan replied. He walked the perimeter of the kirk's crumbling walls, boots crunching on frost-hardened grass. There, near the cliff's edge, he noticed something that didn't belong: a thin steel wire, nearly invisible in the fog. It stretched from the bell's clapper down through a crack in the stonework and out toward the moor. Ewan followed it. The wire ran low along the ground, hidden among the heather, until it reached a battered wooden shed near the abandoned sheep pens. Inside, the smell of oil and metal hung thick. A small mechanical timer ticked on a crate. Attached to it, a motor. Attached to that, the wire. At 2:17 a.m., the motor would turn. The wire would pull. The bell would toll. Not a curse, a device. Malcolm Fraser had been a lighthouse keeper for 40 years. He understood signals better than anyone. Ewan returned to Malcolm's cottage. Inside, the walls were lined with old maritime maps and tide charts. On the kitchen table sat a notebook. Inside were dates, 3 nights circled in ink, and a final entry: "If the bell rings again, I'll prove it. Someone's using it." Malcolm hadn't believed in ghosts either. He'd gone to investigate, and someone had followed him. The shed belonged to Dougal Kerr, a sheep farmer drowning in debt. But sheep weren't his only concern. Beneath the floorboards of the shed, Ewan found crates, sealed, unmarked. Inside them, smuggled whiskey, rare and untaxed, bound for the mainland. The bell was a signal. 1 toll meant the coast was clear. 2 meant danger. 3 nights in a row meant a shipment was coming. Malcolm had seen the wire in the fog, confronted Dougal near the cliffs. There had been an argument, a shove. Granite doesn't forgive. By sunset, Dougal Kerr was in custody, silent as stone. That night, the fog returned to Braemoor. The villagers waited. 2:17 a.m. came and passed. No bell rang, only the wind. Inspector Ewan Reid stood outside the ruined kirk one last time before driving back to Inverness. The sea roared below, ancient and indifferent. Curses were convenient. But truth was always pulled by a wire, and someone was always holding the other end.